you also during that time you were around Tupac. Tupac was there. A lot of people like, man, Tupac was living a lot too. He might have been the first like rapper that became a movie star. Now we've seen other guys. We've seen who is that? Meth do it. We've seen Busta Rhymes do it. Ice Cube has done it. Snoop has gone into that. So we see a lot of other guys. But Tupac was, Juice and Poetic Justice and all that. Excuse me, Jason Lyric. What was Tupac like?
Cool, like just a cool dude. He hyper. He was hyper. Actually, Tupac is one of the first dudes. Him and MC Breed was the first couple of guys to give me my first shot at production outside of the Death Row company. But he was a good dude, man. Just he'd tell you whatever he felt. He'd tell you. He wouldn't hold nothing back. And just a cool dude, I got a story that I done some music for him, and I was hitting him like, Pac, I need to get my money, man. I done all the done this music for you and da-da-da-da-da. He was like, I'm gonna get you your money, da-da-da. But I'm like, all right, so it was still cool. So seen him up at the Comedy Store. I walked up to him, I was like, Pac, I need to get my bread. Came right out the pocket, like, came out, broke me off my money. I was only charging $1,500 a beat back then.
Right.
So he came right out the pocket and broke me off my bread right then and there. And I felt kind of bad, like, cause we cool.
Right.
So I felt kind of bad, like.
But business is business.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad having to ask him, like, man, I need my motherfucking money. And but we still was cool after that. But right after that, him and Tretch had got into a fight with some cats right at the Comedy. Tretch, he was there. They got into a squabble right after that. But that was like a moment where I was like, damn, that's my guy, but I gotta you gotta
do business. You gotta stand on business.
I gotta get paid. Shit, I gotta get paid. And but we was cool after that. Everything. And he always been a solid guy. And I actually tried to get him out. When he had that bail going. Me and another one of my good friends, Richie Rich, he was from the Bay up there where Pac was at. We used to talk all the time, so he knew that me and Pac was cool. Him and Pac was tight. And so I told him, like, look, let me put up the money. I'll put some money up to get him out. And Suge beat me to the punch.
Right. Wow.
So, but
Suge put up $1 million cash though, right?
Yeah, I was gonna put. Actually, I don't think he probably put $1 million up, but it wasn't $1 million.
Right.
It wasn't $1 million. It was less than that. But he wrote the letters. Him and Rich was going back and forth, and I told him, just let me know what I could do. And I was like, I don't want nothing, want nothing back. But if I ask you to do a song or something, let's do a song. But other than that, I just don't want to see you in that position. So I was willing to put up some bread to get him out of there. And my guy Rich, he witnessed that. It was a few people, out there saying that that wasn't real, but well, Suge even said it wasn't real, but it's real. And Rich was his dog. So, but it is what it is.
This was before, look, he was a digital underground. He had a little part bag. He was more of a dancer. Did you know when he got out and he did All Eyes on Me, the 2 discs?
Yeah.
Did you hear it before it came out?
No. I wasn't nowhere around it.
Did you know it was gonna do this?
No. I didn't know nothing that was going on, but I ran into him at the House of Blues, and we hugged and everything. And this was around when he got out. We hugged everything. He was like, "I want to work, let's work." So I was like, "All right, it's all good." And what had happened? It was an incident that happened, a studio incident that happened. That's what led to me saying, he was like, "Let me come to this up to Can-Am," and I was like, "Nah, I'm not coming up there." You know, that. Because it was a little incident that happened up there where, they had called me in. They was like, "Warren, Suge didn't want to holler at you in the back." So I'm like, what do you want? Like, what do you want with me?
Right.
Shit. So I'm like, so I said, "I'm coming, man." So somebody else like, "Man, Suge want to holler at you." So I was like, "All right." So I'm like, "Man, let me go back here and see what's going on, man. He probably want to do some business or something like that." And shit, I walked back in that motherfucker, and them motherfuckers came out of the side doors and shit, tripping, tripping, like all ran up on me, grabbed me and shit, and I'm like, "What the and it was all.
You ain't know what it was about?
I know what it was about, but I didn't know that it was because Dre left.
Right.
And he didn't tell me.
He didn't
left.
tell
I
you
wish
he had
would have told me, like, "Warren, don't go around that shit."
Yeah, because if he'd have told you, you'd have never went over there.
Never. I wouldn't have never went, but it was just like, I'm just like, damn, what, like, why y'all tripping on me? You know what I mean? But so it was like another guy, I know, one of my homeboys, he kind of caused like a diversion. He came in like, "Why y'all tripping with Warren? What's going on? What's happening?" So when he was doing that, I went just like that. I got on the door and I hit that knob and boop, slid right out the door. And when I walked through the door, I seen people I knew in the kitchen. I'm looking at them like, these tripping. And so I walked through and I got to the middle of the hallway and they came running out that motherfucker. "Get that nigga blood." I took off. Again. I took off. But this time I got out the door. But I swear to God, all the people that came running after, they just fell. It was like a domino, like boom, they fell in the hallway, which that's the reason why I was able to get away. So I got away and I jumped in my truck, backed it up, and I was like, "Fuck y'all," and took off. Boom. Took off.
Let me ask you, what do you think?
Well, my chain got snatched.
They snatched it?
Snatched my chain.
So what chain did you have?
I had a G-Funk chain.
Oh.
And
so is that where they started doing that foolishness, start snatching chains? So you might have been the first down to get your
chain snatching had been going on for a long time. And I'm gonna admit it, it was nothing I could do.
Right.
I was in a position like where if I can't do shit. If I pull out a gun and start blasting, I'm gonna get killed by these other motherfuckers with all these guns here. It was a no-win situation.
Correct.
So when my chain got snatched, I was kind of like, but it's like,
that live to see another day.
Yeah, what am I gonna do?
Right.
These 3 times my size.
Had you not snuck out of the door, you think it would have been worse?
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been ugly. Yeah.
Because they was mad at you because you was the closest thing to Dre.
Pretty much.
And so to get back at Dre, they gonna get you.
That's the way I looked at it, I didn't know. I'm like, I wish he would have told me that he was leaving. Shit, But I charged it to the game, and even today, every now and then Suge will say some shit, just talk some shit. Well,
why he mad at you?
I have no idea. He'll say some shit like Warren them had set up Tupac or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Stop it. But I ain't, like at the end of the day, I done grown so much to where it's just like, You know what? I don't have.
You don't even listen to that.
I don't listen to it. I ain't got no hate towards him. None of that stuff. Any of those situations, I charged all that to the game, and it's just like, don't keep poking at me. You know,
Right.
I don't say nothing about him. He'll say something here and there, and I'm just like, every now, I responded a couple times because it pissed me off, but it's just like, I'm not gonna keep entertaining that. I ain't got nothing against you. I done moved on. I do my thing. I'm grown now.
Right.
Whatever happened back in the day, whatever, okay, cool. It is what it is. So now I'm moving on, but don't keep poking on me because I ain't fucking with you.
Right.
You know, so leave me alone. Everything I speak on is facts. And I never threw no dirt on his name, nobody, none of these guys. Never been a whistleblower, never threw no dirt on nobody, none of that. I just always, you know, just been me, and I carry myself in a different way and out the way.
Yeah, yeah. Is it true that you told Snoop not to go to that Tyson Seldon fight?
Yeah.
Because I had actually, I had went to the Tyson Frank Bruno fight. I think that was April. And as a matter of fact, that was my first time being in Vegas, and I was walking on the Strip. Tupac and Snoop was in a Rolls Royce together, drop top.
Wow.
And I remember I was walking down the thing, and I was looked over there, and they both kind of like looked over there. They're like, "Man, what's up, Sharpe?" I was like, "What's up, guy?" You know, because it was like, we
love you, man.
Yeah, because I didn't expect to see.
No,
you.
we love you,
And
man.
so I was like, "Damn." And I remember getting on the phone. I called my sister. I called my homeboy. I said, "Man, you were never gonna guess who I just saw rolling down the Strip." They're like, "Who?" I said, "Man, I saw Tupac and Snoop." And so that was the Frank Bruno and Tyson fight. And then I think that September was when Tyson fought Bruce Seldon. And that's when all that went down. And it, like you told Snoop, Snoop, don't go.
It wasn't the reason why I called Snoop is because I didn't like. It wasn't like don't go, Snoop, because I knew if I knew something was going on. I called Snoop to come kick it with me down here. I'm a barbecue.
Right.
You don't never come hang with me no more. Come on over here. I'm single. I was in a beginning relationship with my wife, kind of in a very, very early stages, but I was still like by myself. I was still living by myself and all that stuff. So I had a gang of people come over. It was a couple girls came through, guys came through, barbecued, but he would never come when I would invite him.
Right.
So I invited him. He was like, "No, nigga, I'm going to Vegas." Da 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 da. So he pretty much surprised me, and came over. You know, he came. Dun, dun, dun. So I look outside, and he in a Rolls Royce, a white one with the peanut butter, all that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. I said, let me drive that mother. So he let me drive it. I drove it around the neighborhood a little bit where I lived at. It was inside gates, but I was driving it around and stuff. But he was just like, I'm gonna hang with you. And I was like, all right, shit. So it was all good. We barbecued, had a good time, and then that's when all the stuff started happening. There's all kind of shit, all kind of his phone ringing, all kind of shit beeping, and he had got the news, like what happened down there. He just immediately took off. Boom, he shot straight out of there. He's like, I gotta go, I'm gone. Boom, and he jumped in his car and shot straight to Vegas. Yeah. And
when you had heard what happened, Tupac had gotten shot. Did you know it was a drive-by? Did you think he had gotten into a confrontation? Somebody had got the drop on him? What did you think had happened when you had heard Tupac had gotten shot? Or did they give you any details?
I didn't get no details or nothing. I just heard he had got shot and was hoping that he was okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, damn, okay, Pac got shot, he gonna be all right.
Right.
Yeah, and because he, from what they were saying, he was in the hospital, he was getting some operations or whatever, but they wasn't saying like, that he was gonna die or anything.
Right.
That shit was hard, that shit was rough. You know, like that was some serious shit. Like that fucked everybody up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Tupac was only 25.
Yeah, he was young.
Young.
Man. Young.
He hadn't even been out maybe a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And was gone. And that's what people don't realize. He didn't have the longevity that a lot of these rappers have. I mean, he didn't have a 5-year, a 10-year, 15, 20-year career.
Yeah.
As a solo artist, it might have been, what, a year, maybe 2 years tops.
Well, he had albums before. He had records before that.
Right.
He had Soda Story. He had a bunch of albums like right before the Death Row thing, and Death Row picked him up, took him in.
Yeah.
But he had some. He was popping, you know, then as well. But what's the trip is that Me Against the World album.
Yes.
He pretty much like. That was
foretold
like
everything.
30, like 20-something years worth of work in one album. Like the things the direction he was steering the guys our age in, and the things about the kids
and what he talked about, Dear Mama, and Brenda's Got a Baby.
Yeah.
The stories that, I mean, he was telling a story.
Yeah, yeah, and it was like he told the future, because now a lot of this stuff happened and some of it is still happening. Like he said, epidemic and diseases, what is the future? And look, we be having all these epidemics and diseases and shit like that.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.